Yes. Now f of x is bounded. So for the same function, now I can write a mod of f of x less than or equal to 18. That means minus 18 less than or equal to f of x less than or equal to f of x less than or equal to 18. That means this function lies in between these two values. See here, minus 18 and 18, right? The function lies in between these two values, no? Right, 3, 6, 11, and 18. The function, the range of the function lies in between minus 18 to 18, right? This can be written as mod of f of x less than or equal to 18. In general, mod of f of x less than or equal to capital M means the function value lies in between minus m less than or equal to f of x less than or equal to m. Now these are the bounds of the function. That's why we can say that f of x is bounded. The next one thing, see, let f be a real valued function on a closed interval a comma b, then f is a bounded function. Moreover, f assumes its maximum and minimum value on a closed interval a comma b. That is, there exists x naught comma y naught belongs to close interval a comma b such that f of x less than or equal to f of x less than or equal to f of y naught, f of x naught less than or equal to f of x less than or equal to f of y naught for all x belongs to this domain. That means this function f of x lies in between f of x naught and f of y naught. F of x naught and f of y naught are the bounds of the given function, right? Now see, we are writing the given data. What is the given data? F is a real valued function on closed interval a comma b, right? We have to prove that f is a bounded function, right? Now here f is a real valued function on closed interval a comma b, no? Let us suppose that f is not bounded. Now this we are proving by contradiction. Actually we have to prove that f is bounded. Instead of proving that one directly, we are saying that our assumption is f is not bounded. Not bounded means no upper bound and no lower bound. Both bounds, and upper bound may exist, lower bound may not, does not exist. Lower bound may exist, upper bound does not exist. ఏదైనా ఉండొచ్చు కదా, or both the bounds are does not exist. Now, for each n belongs to capital N, there is an xn belongs to a comma b such that mod of f of xn greater than this n. అంతే కదా, greater than n. If it is less than or equal to n అయితే we can say that f of x is bounded. If f of x less than or equal to m, we can say that f of x is bounded. If mod of f of x greater than n, it is not bounded. Mod of f of x is xn is greater than n. Right. Next, 13th page. Now, by Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem, the sequence xn has a subsequence xm which converges to some real number x naught, and x naught belongs to closed interval a comma b. Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem అనే ఒక థీరం ఉంది. That is the statement. That means every sequence, దానికి every subsequence of a sequence converges to some real number, whatever it may be the sequence. This is the sequence. The sequence xn has a subsequence xm which converges to some real number x naught, and the x naught is always belongs to the domain of the domain, that is nothing but closed interval a comma b. Since f is continuous at x naught, we have what we have, limit of f of xn is equal to f of x naught by the definition of the continuous. If a limit exists, then we can say that f is a continuous function. Now limit k tends to infinity. See here, this is a subsequence I am writing. Limit k tends to infinity f of x suffix n suffix k. That means x n k is a subsequence of x n. It is a notation only, right? Now limit k tends to infinity mod of f of x n k, x suffix n suffix k. It is a subsequence of x n. This is a notation, right? Tends to plus infinity, which is a contradiction. Endukani mole function converges to f of x naught, whereas its absolute value converges to plus infinity. Why we are getting a contradiction? Because our assumption is wrong. What is our assumption? F of x is not bounded. This is our assumption. Therefore our assumption is wrong means its negation is true. That means f of x is bounded on closed interval a comma b, right? The next one, let m is equal to, first part, let m is equal to supremum of f of x such that, this is such that x belongs to closed interval a comma b. అంటే మన రేంజ్ సెట్లోనే కదా సుప్రీమం ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేసేది. For each n belongs to n, there exists yn belongs to closed interval a comma b such that m minus 1 by n less than or equal less than f of yn less than or equal to m. Hence limit of f of yn is equal to m. ఇది డెఫినేషన్ ఉంది, ప్లీజ్ గో త్రూ ద డెఫినేషన్, రైట్? By Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem, there is a subsequence y suffix n suffix k of yn. It is a subsequence of this one, right? Converging to a limit y naught in a comma b. What is Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem? Every subsequence of a sequence converges to some real number. We are using that concept and we are denoting the subsequence by this notation of this given sequence, and it is converges to some real number y naught. Since f is continuous on y naught, since f is continuous at y naught, we have f of y naught or limit k tends to infinity y suffix n suffix k is equal to y naught. Endukani, if the sequence is convergent, then all its subsequences are also converges to the same number. If a sequence converges to Sn converges to 2, then all its subsequences are also converges to 2 only, right? Now here this is called a sequence again. F of y suffix nk is a subsequence of this sequence. This limit we are applying, limit k tends to infinity f of y suffix n suffix k is equal to limit n tends to infinity f of yn is equal to m. Endukani reason, this m suppose s is a sequence converges to m aithe, then all its subsequences are also converges to m, right? Similarly, now this is a sequence converges to m, therefore all its subsequences converges to m. That's why this limit value is equal to m. That means f of y naught is equal to m. That is, f assumes its maximum value at y naught. Maximum value at y naught. You please go through this theorem. This is very, very important concept, right? Before reading this theorem, please go through the definitions, right? Now next, some points are there here to here. Please go through the synopsis. This is one point and this is another point. Please go through the synopsis. Tomorrow I'll explain this concept. From page number 14 I'll explain.